Listen, man. They call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans.
How you doing, everyone? My name is Ryan and this is Ade, and welcome back to another edition of Box Talk. In the card that seems reminiscent of the recent terrible card promoted by Golden Boy, we've got another card with full of strong A sides with B sides that feel to me they're getting set up. We've got the return of Andre Berto, the return of Lucas Matthysse, and the return of Adrien Broner. Ade.
It's a bit harsh.
It's harsh, but it's the truth. It's harsh, but it's the truth.
To me, this card was Showtime, isn't it? Showtime card.
Yeah.
It carries a lot more weight though than the Golden Boy card. I'm not at it.
No,
a lot more weight.
No, the B sides are better than the other cards. No disrespect to the other guys on the card. The other guys who we got now?
Which one? Oh, Steve Upshaw, Emmanuel Taylor,
and
I think Roberto Ortiz.
Oh, yeah. No disrespect to guys. These guys are all seasoned pros. They're all good fighters. But when you got a division like 140, you got two guys that already came coming off losses that had warm-up fights already, fighting in two separate cards on two separate main events where they could be fighting each other.
See, look, maybe I'm a bit more, I don't know, warm-hearted, shall I say, than Mr. Racing here. What it is for me is that, unlike the Garcia-Salka debacle, which it was, it's a debacle, it's been, you know, and he's still not, sorry, we're going to come, he's still not helping himself, is he,
No,
Garcia?
he's not.
These tweets are really pissing me off. Oh, just shut up. Leave it alone. But unlike that, where, you know, they picked a guy from a lighter weight class and they picked a guy that wasn't even ranked in the top 50, these guys, especially Andre Berto in the next sense with Steve Upshaw, they're almost picking guys, they're picking guys in their own weight class, which should be obvious, but bloody hell, nowadays in boxing, that's not even an obvious statement. But they're picking guys with only a couple of defeats on their record. Again, you're right, we're not talking about the almost like the stars they should be fighting, especially Lucas Matthysse and Adrien Broner should be starting top names. But there's something about, again, I'm getting a bit, because I spoke to Steve Upshaw, there's something about these guys almost given the opportunity. Yeah. And that's what it is. And I think a lot of times these guys don't have top promoters, they don't have TV deals, and some of these guys could become stars if only they got an opportunity. And I want them to get an opportunity. Algieri, for the Provodnikov fight, almost got picked from nowhere. Yeah. We done the matchup and we said this ain't getting out of round 4 or 5. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He only got 50 grand for that fight. Now he's probably going to get $1 million for the Pacquiao fight. $1 million. I just want some of these guys to get an opportunity, and you never know if they can take it.
You are right, 100% you're right. When you're looking at fighting, you look at, like we always say, to be a star, you need to fight a star. Yeah. You need to get somewhere, you need to give me an opportunity to prove how good you are. Yeah. I believe that 100% sure. And in the chance with the Andre Berto fight against Steve Upshaw, I understand that for sure. Berto's been out for a while, he's got a decent name coming in, so that's different. But I don't give Adrien Broner or I don't give Lucas Matthysse that benefit of the doubt, considering Broner was on people's pound for pounds list.
Freeweight world champion.
Yeah, he's a freeweight world champion.
World champion.
Yeah, and he possibly take over Floyd Mayweather and be the king of pay-per-view in the future. So you shouldn't really be having fights like this, especially with his attitude and his mouth and the things he's saying. And I said in previous videos, I like Broner, but like I said, when you like someone and you look at their skill set, you start to expect more from them. And then you go back. Then we look to Lucas Matthysse, who's one of the biggest punchers, pound for pound, within the sport, hands down. Coming for Fight of the Year candidate
against Molina.
Again, a guy that was gonna beat Danny Garcia and possibly in the middle of a sweepstake. And now he's come back. So you've got these guys that are being elevated to being so good. But even Matthysse has been talked about being a pound for pounder because he got robbed against Alexander. Yeah. He done this. He done that. He done this.
They said robbed against Judah.
You get my point, yeah? These guys were all up here, gonna be at the top. So why are you fighting guys that are here? And these guys are good guys, not bad guys. But you understand my point?
I get your point, and I do get your point. And you know what it is, especially for the Adrien Broner one. Yeah. The Adrien Broner, it's almost like, and I said this before, like, the way he talks don't seem to be the way the execs are backing he's talking at the moment. Like, he's talking like he's talking like he's ready for King Kong, and almost giving him Mickey Mouse fights. Yeah. And it's not taken away from Emmanuel Taylor, but you're 140 pounds. Yeah. Lucas Matthysse on the card, he's 140 pounds. Exactly. Why are you not fighting Lucas Matthysse?
You both had warm-ups already.
You have warm-ups. Why don't you just go for it? Why don't both of you just go for it?
But you see, what I'm saying, as a card as itself, it's a nice card to watch. You've got 3 marquee names in fights which should be entertaining. They're not in with threats where you feel like, oh, they're going to stink out the joint. It's going to be good fights, and I'm trying to say. And you've got the opportunity for an upset, given Berto's just on his comeback. No, I'm trying to...
Could be wrong. Trying to interrupt you. Are all three fighters in the main card, i.e. Berto, Broner and Matthysse, signed to Al Heyman? All three of them? I'm sure, obviously, Adrien Broner is. I'm 100% sure. Andre Berto is.
I'm not sure about Matthysse.
I think Matthysse could be. I remember I was on Wikipedia and I looked at it. I'm sure Mathisse's name. All three fighters on the Garcia card were all Al Heyman fighters as well, weren't they? Is there a theme, do you think, where Al Heyman, I think this is going to happen now recently, there's a theme where you almost get top A-list fighters and top A-side fighters, but their opponents are B, C-side fighters. Are we going to get that now? A lot more of that.
I have no problem with guys of this level fighting these type of guys. Yeah, nothing's wrong with it. It's called a competitive boxing match. Yeah. You can't fight killers in every single fight.
That's the thing.
I don't mind that, but to market it the way you're marketing it, to make it a marquee event, to throw it in your faces and push it like it's going to be the best card under the sun, no, it's not. And that's the problem I have now. I'm trying to say. Back in the day when we were growing up on boxing, those fights, those cards will be on free TV, or those fights will be the type of fights which is a warm up or a build up to another fight down the line. So that is fair enough. But all these fighters, except for Berto, who's been injured, had that pre-warm-up fight in their last fight.
There seems to be a trend at the moment with boxing, and we're seeing it quite a lot, where you get the summer blockbuster, and then all the cards in November, December, January seem to be the fights before the summer blockbusters again. If that makes sense. Golovkin's fighting Rubio. Cotto's not going to fight a main name yet. Canelo's not going to fight. Do you know what I'm saying? We always seem to get November, December, January seem to be like the matchups before the matchups. Kell Brook's going to come back. Again, no marquee name they're talking about. This seemed to be this card as well, where these guys are all primed, it seems, for big fights in 2015. So it's almost like give them not easy fights, but give them fights that they won't lose. And then 2015.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, yes, that's what they're doing. But okay, if Berto, if Broner or Matthysse still had their world title, people would say this fight is a mismatch.
Okay.
But because they got the world titles, it's kind of acceptable now. But it's still the same fight it was previously.
Where's Broner for you in the 140? He's now 140 pounds. Where is he in the 140 pound division? I mean, look at the chat. Obviously, Danny Garcia is the lineal 140 champ. Could he beat Danny Garcia?
Okay. Potentially, yes.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah? We see what Broner can do when he's the bigger man in the ring, i.e. when he's at 135. We saw his struggles at 147. So 140 does seem to be his weight class.
It's the perfect weight.
But he hasn't fought no one of something to prove how good he is. Yeah. He hasn't had his skills tested. He hasn't had his chin tested. He hasn't had his stamina tested because he's fighting at his own pace, his people he can or supposed to beat. And this is why this fight, again, won't prove nothing much. If I had to draft a rankings right now, yes, he's a top 10. Yes, he must be a top 5, but I'm giving him that on potential of what he's done previously, not what he's done at the actual weight class.
Okay, let's talk about the man that was heir apparent to Floyd Mayweather. I mean, this guy 3 years ago, I was going absolutely mental about him. One fight in my head, I remember clearly, and I kind of went, And again, it's no shame, it was against Steve Forbes. Remember that fight against Steve Forbes? And after that fight, I was like, not sure anymore. And then after he fought Luis Galazzo, and then it kind of unraveled from there. Comeback fight, we're talking, 2 tough defeats. Guerrero, Soto Carras, shoulder surgery. Where's Andre Berto?
See, this is what again, Berto is a good example of a fighter who was developed well, but not developed competitively. He was developed well, fighting good names, but he was fighting them at the wrong times of their careers. So he was moving specifically and having good wins, good knockout wins, but he didn't get that substance he needed to step up to the class. And when he said not to the A class, to say the B class, really.
I mean, Soto Carras is just a gatekeeper.
He got found out. He got found out and he lost, and that's what happens. But now he's had a chance to relax, to recover, have surgery, and this is a fight where again it's the right fight for him. Coming back. Where is Berto right now? As far as I'm concerned, he's unranked. He's two defeats, long-term injury, laid off. So this fight gives him something. And this fight, win, lose or draw, no matter how it goes, I just see this fight for him as to get his feet wet again. So I wouldn't want to see him in with someone too competitive as of yet. Once you have shoulder surgery, you need to chest that arm out long term. So being in this fight is good for him.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, I spoke to Steve Chambers. He personally is fighting. I looked at his record as well. It's a good record, but again, they picked him, I guess, because of the knockout percentage. I think he's out of the 23 fights that he's had. I think he's only won 6 by KO. That's what they're doing. Carras was a monster. Robert Guerrero, is just going to come to fight. The thing for me with Andre Berto in this fight, if he does win, I still don't think he's ready for a top 10 guy in 2015. But I think that's what they're going to do with him. I think they're going to rush him.
If Berto wins this fight, if Berto wins this fight, again, he needs to fight another. Again, not on in my opinion, not on the marquee card, on the undercard of a big event to get his name out there and get a good performance in, but also build his confidence. Like we saw with Ricky Burns, having consecutive bad losses, having damaged eyes, having shoulder, those are confidence burning things. And to be a good fighter, you need confidence. You need to trust in your skills, trust in your body, and trust that you can follow through with your game plan. And you can only get that through going through the rounds.
Okay. Before we talk about predictions, obviously last guy on the card.
Lucas
Matthysse. This guy was considered a monster less than a year ago. I mean, literally, no one wanted to even step in the ring. Danny Garcia, and I think that's why we go against Danny Garcia so much, because of what he done against Lucas Matthysse, which is why we go mad when he's picking like people like Rod Salka. What does Lucas Matthysse do?
I had Lucas Matthysse knocking off Danny Garcia's head within 5 rounds.
I
thought there's no way you're gonna stop this guy.
The thing that scares me for Lucas Matthysse now, it's almost that John Molina fight as well.
Yeah,
where he got hurt as well. He didn't look great in that fight either. I don't know how psychologically losing to Danny Garcia the way he lost. Before that, his losses were controversial. Yeah. Losing to Danny Garcia the way he did, I don't know how that's affected him.
But that's what I was trying to say before with the Andre Berto, is that it's a confidence thing. You know, if you believe in your power, you believe in your skill set, you believe what you have and it's taken away from you, you got to bring that back. I remember bloody Schaefer going, here's the new Pacquiao, here's the new Pacquiao, here's the new Pacquiao, because he was just running through people and knocking them out. And he went into that fight believing he was going to knock out Danny Garcia. And he got humbled. Got his eye closed, got outboxed, he got beat up, and that's where he got dropped.
I think he got dropped in the end.
He got dropped. So that's a humbling experience. So he had his comeback fight, didn't look great. But again, like I said, these guys are not babies, these are professional fighters. Like I said, these guys were all at the top of the division at one time or another. These guys know what to do. They've had their warm-ups. Let's put them back in competitive fights.
Okay, look, all right, so do we need predictions?
No.
Okay, there you go. So look, guys, we've got 3 A-listers, and they are really A-listers. These guys that put bums on seats, and that's why I call them A-listers. And they're definitely A-sides. They're fighting 3 B/C sides, really. And is that the problem? I think Andre Berto gets a pass, because we're talking about 2 defeats, soldier surgery. The rest, there's Adrien Broner and Lucas Matthysse. Do they need to be fighting this level of opposition, especially when they are in a super rich division? Adrien Broner says he can go to 147. Well, there's guys out there waiting for you. 140, there's guys down there waiting for you as well. Why are these two not fighting each other? I don't know. But look, guys, leave your comments below. Tell us what you think about this whole card. Look, it's still a card I'm going to tune in for. It's still got, it's got Andre Berto, Adrien Broner, and Lucas Matthysse. But should be competitive matchups by now, surely. Email us at
boxtalk@hotmail.co.uk, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter at boxtalkuk.
And don't forget to watch our videos as well on ringnews24.com, and also loads of other stuff on boxing. And also don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching Boxtalk.